This is Charles Canavan, case number 2413502FH. Set for a probation violation hearing. And a recommendation made that if he pleads to the technical violation, second technical violation, that he get 30 days in jail, then go to alternative directions. Ms. Robinson, do you adopt that recommendation as an offer in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
What's your understanding?
it's my understanding.
Good. What does Mr. Canavan want to do?
Well, Your Honor, we don't dispute that he didn't get to alternative direction right away. He tried. He had a ride that was set up for 3 o'clock that day, and he was put in custody. Now he has a ride sitting in the courtroom right here, his brother, who's going to take him to alternative directions. It's not easy for a guy like Jason Canavan to just call somebody. He's burned a lot of bridges. Anybody that he calls is usually going to be a druggie that he hangs with, and he didn't want to do that. He got a hold of his sister and his brother, who he's been on the outs with for periods of time.
It sounds like he wants to have a hearing.
Okay. Okay. Right. I think he had his bags back. He was at the probation violation or probation office, and his intent was to go. He didn't have a ride right away. He quite frankly, he wasn't certain how he was going to get there in the first place. They told him he had to do it.
My people told me.
All right, Ms. Robinson, why don't you call your witness?
All right, thank you, Your Honor. The people would call Zach Grutter.
Raise your hand, please, sir. You solemnly swear on to affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, no truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Can I have a seat?
Mr. Grutter, can you state your name and spell it for the record, please?
Zachary Grutter, ZACHERY,
And where are you employed in what capacity?
Michigan Department of Corrections. I work for Nuevo County and Circuit Court Probation.
Familiar with the Jason Canavan?
Yes,
See him here today?
he's here.
Can you identify him for the court, please?
Orange Johnson.
Your Honor, may the record reflect this witness identified the defendant.
Yes.
And Mr. Grutter, how are you familiar with him?
I supervise Jason on probation.
How long have you supervised him on probation?
He only recently got out of jail, I believe in October. However, I do also have a history supervising him on parole a couple years ago.
Now, why we're here today?
I do.
Why are we here today?
Well, the allegation is that he was supposed to go to alternative directions residential program on October the 28th. He was given a time of 11 o'clock to report there by. He reported that morning to me, never indicated that transportation was going to be an issue for him. And came back much later, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, still without a ride, saying that he might have a ride the next day. Just kind of par for the course in my experience with Jason.
Now, you said those are the allegations. Who's making those allegations?
I am.
You're making those allegations based on facts that you know personally or things you were told by other people?
Based on personal facts that I experienced.
Right, when was Mr. Canavan ordered to be at New Directions or Alternative Directions?
In Grand Rapids. He was supposed to be there by 11 a.m. I told him.
Okay. On what day?
On October the 28th.
When did you tell him he was supposed to be there by 11 a.m.?
He was sentenced the prior day in this court, and I had an immediate conversation with him to be in my office at 8:30, no later than 8:30 in the morning, the 28th, and he was to report immediately to alternative directions after that
Did he report to your office at 8:30 in the morning on the 28th?
at 8:35.
You made contact with him at that time?
I did.
You tell him again that he had to go to alternative directions?
He was given directions to go to alternative directions by 11 a.m. that day.
Tell him he had to be there by 11 a.m.?
I did.
What did he say to you?
He said he would, he had some things that he had to gather from his personal belongings, and that he'd be on his way. He never indicated to me that he wasn't gonna get a ride, didn't have a ride. As far as I knew, his brother had just brought him to the office, and I figured his brother was his ride also to Grand Rapids.
When did you become aware that he did not show up at alternative directions?
Yeah, he returned to our office at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and telling me that he still doesn't have a ride and that he could try to make some calls, but he might have a ride by tomorrow, the next day.
What happened at that point?
He was taken into custody at that point.
Who made that decision?
I did.
Why was that?
Just based on his history, he has a prior technical violation already for absconding from another residential program that we did arrange transportation for. We got him all the way over to Saginaw. He stayed there a day or two, walked away from the program and somehow found a ride back from Saginaw to New County.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any questions, Mr. Greer?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Grutter, did you ever tell him while he was in custody that transportation would be arranged?
I did not.
You never told him that transportation to this alternative directions could be arranged?
Not at that time. At the point that we had the probation violation hearing, he was already at his maximum jail days for transportation or for sentencing. So he was getting jail credit time served, and we wouldn't have the ability to hold him, take him through.
Well, he came to your office at 8:30 with his bags and everything.
No, he didn't have his bags at that
Came at
point.
8:30, said he could get a ride, but he couldn't be there by 11.
He didn't tell me that.
Okay. And that, didn't he tell you that his sister got out of work at 3 and she could give him a ride?
He was making that comment after he came out back again at 1 p.m. saying that maybe she could, again, failure for him to plan ahead and think maybe make calls ahead of time in my mind.
Well, he was in jail until the day before.
Correct.
So he was supposed to have arranged his transportation. I mean,
From my view of it, he did have transportation to my office already. I don't know if he
I
didn't
think
ask.
he walked.
He told me that his brother had brought him to the office that morning.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I stand correct.
He told me he was in for
Okay.
transportation.
All right, please, you're gonna be. So when you took him into custody, did you test him for drugs?
I didn't at that time. I did that morning. He was clean that morning.
Was he clean?
That morning he was.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Can you redirect them, Ms. Robinson?
When you explained to Mr. Canavan on the 27th that he needed to be in your office at 8:30 the next morning, did you discuss transportation to alternative directions at that point?
I don't recall if transportation was discussed in the court. No, not sure.
At 8:35, when he reported to your office, did you discuss transportation to alternative directions at that point?
He knew that alternative directions would not be providing a ride and that he was getting himself there, and never told me that he didn't have a ride.
Thank you. Nothing further.
You follow up on that, Mr. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
This witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Any other witnesses, Ms. Robinson?
Not for today's purposes, Your Honor.
Any witnesses, Mr. Greer?
Jason Canavan, Your Honor.
No, sir. Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear oath to affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You have a seat.
State your name for the record.
Jason Kennedy,
Jason, you know why you're here today?
Yes, sir.
Explain to the court what happened and what transpired as a result.
So when I was in jail for the 15 days, Mr. Grutter came to me and told me that I was supposed to set up a ride. Well, I was gonna set up a bed at Randy's house. He came and he asked me if I set that up. I told him I wasn't able to do that from jail. He told me that he was gonna send me to alternative directions. He told me that he was gonna provide the ride to alternative directions. So therefore, I didn't try to get a ride. He told me he would supply the ride. 2 weeks ago, when I was here and I got time credited, he didn't tell me that I needed to find a ride until after I seen the judge right there in the corner of the courtroom. When I got out of jail, nobody knew I was getting out. I didn't have a ride out there waiting. I walked home. I didn't get home till 11 o'clock at night. I went home. The only people I'm 100% serious about my recovery for the first time in my life. I'm not trying to reach out to old friends or anything like that. I don't want to put my recovery at risk. My brother works third shift. He was already at work. He got out of work at 8 a.m. I contacted him and asked him to give me a ride to my probation officer's office. He gave me a ride there. I went in, seen Zach, talked to him. I told him, he asked me if my brother was gonna give me a ride to alternative directions. I told him I didn't know, I had to ask him. He told me, well, ask him, don't just throw it on him like that. And he let me go. He said be there by 11. So I went, I got in the car with my brother. My brother had things to do. He dropped me off at the house. I grabbed my bags, my packed bags to go to alternative directions. I walked back to Mr. Grutter's office, showed up there with my bags packed and told him that I do not have a ride. My brother will get out of work at 8 o'clock the next morning. He can give me a ride then. I even told him, put me in jail for the night if that's what you gotta do. I'm not trying to prolong this. I'm here with my bags packed. I'm ready to go. My sister gets out of work at 3 o'clock and he wasn't trying to hear anything that I had to say. It was just, you're going back to jail. You're going back to jail. I literally dropped clean, packed my bags and showed up at his office. I don't know what else to do. I am not trying to jeopardize my recovery. And I know it might sound crazy coming from me, but this is the first time in my life that I'm 100% serious about trying to do this. I didn't know what else to do.
Have you arranged a ride to alternative directions now?
My brother's out there in the courtroom. He's here willing to give me a ride whenever is possible. I've tried to do what's right. I showed up at his office and I told him I would walk there. I told him I'd walk there. I asked him for a ride. He wouldn't listen to anything that I had to say. It was, you're going to jail, you're going to jail, I'm tired of your games. What else am I supposed to do?
I have nothing further.
Questions, Ms. Robinson?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Canavan, when were you released on the 27th?
I was released 7 at, well, about 6 o'clock at night.
You said you got home at what time?
It was probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. I walked. I didn't have, nobody knew I was getting out. I didn't have a ride. As far as I knew, I was being provided transport. I thought I was going to be taken directly from the jail to alternative directions.
Okay. And then you said you got a ride from your brother?
Yes, he got out of work at 8 a.m. in Nuevo. I was at Diamond Lake. I contacted him and I asked him if he could give me a ride to report to my PO's office, and he said yes, he could. So he got out of work, picked me up, and brought me to my probation officer's office.
And what'd you do after that?
My brother had things to do. He dropped me off at the house. I finished packing my bags. I grabbed my bags and I walked back to my probation officer's office.
How long did it take you to pack your bags?
An hour maybe. I mean, I packed them some the night before.
How long did it take you to walk back?
It took me probably 2.5, 3 hours to walk to his office.
But it took you 5 hours to walk home the night before?
Well, when I got out of jail, I waited around the jail to see if somebody was gonna come pick me up. I tried making a phone call when they released me. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I walked around, see if I could find a ride. I couldn't find a ride. I was told that when I was in jail, I was told the transportation to alternative directions would be taken care of.
You were here on the 27th, correct?
Yes.
Told the court that what would make you successful this time, as opposed to other times, was one of the things was if they let you go home and get your stuff first, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So how did you think you were gonna get, did you think somebody would drive you home, drive you back? How does that make sense?
I didn't know, since I've been in jail, I haven't really talked to nobody. I can't really talk to nobody in here. It's hard to get a hold of people. My brother is, my brother and my sister are the only people that I have that I can contact that's not gonna put my sobriety at risk.
When did you ask your brother if he could take you that day by 11?
When I was at my probation office. When he picked me up at 8 o'clock, I told him I needed to report to my probation officer's office, then I needed to get to Grand Rapids.
What did he tell you?
He had things he had to do. When I went and seen my probation officer, I told him that I didn't have a ride. He said, report there by 11 o'clock. I said, I don't have a ride. He even told me, don't just throw this on your brother last minute, and
I'm sorry, first you said that before today when you were testifying, you said that he told you that you had to get a ride. And you said that your brother may be able to take you, and he even said you can go, but go ask your brother right now, correct?
No, he let me go. He let me go and told me to be there by 11 o'clock. I left his office. I got in my brother's car, told him I had to be there. He had things, I literally had just from 8 AM until the ride to my probation officer's office to discuss this with my brother. He had previous things that he had to do, and he wasn't available to bring me that day. My sister, what's that?
Did you call anybody else?
My sister, she gets out of work at 3 o'clock in Pentwater.
When did you call her?
I called her, I tried getting a hold of her all day. I know she would have brought me, she was at work though also.
So why did you go home?
I did go home.
Why? Why didn't you just stay at probation and say, I don't have a ride?
I went home to get my stuff, and I was trying to find a ride. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. Like, I literally grabbed my bags and went back to my probation officer's office with my bags packed and told him I don't have a ride. I told him I would walk there. I asked him for a ride. I was willing to walk to Grand Rapids if that's what I had to do to get there to complete this program, or to do what I had to do as far as to make everything right on my end. I would have walked there.
But only after you went home to get your stuff so you could be comfortable.
I needed my stuff. Alternative directions, like, they don't provide clothing and stuff like that.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Follow, Mr. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses, Mr. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Any rebuttal witnesses, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any argument?
Your Honor, we ask that the court find the defendant guilty of this probation violation. It is clear that he didn't report as he was told to do so. His story, I believe, changed today while he was on the stand. It went from, I may have a ride, I have to go ask my brother, to there's no way I can get there. He knew that the day before, apparently on the 27th, but he didn't make any attempts to get a ride until the next morning when he called his brother. He didn't tell the probation agent that he didn't have a ride. He was told to be there. He knew that. He didn't discuss anything, and then he just didn't go. Whether or not he had a ride, he did not appropriately communicate with his probation agent since he was sentenced to this the first time around on the 27th. He was very adamant that day that he needed to go home and get his stuff. That was going to make the difference. It is clear to me that going home and packing whatever bag the night before, plus that day, was more important to him than complying with probation. I believe he's been given all of the opportunities that he deserves, and we would ask that the court to find him guilty.
Your Honor, I just want to get him to alternative directions. I can see where there would be some confusion. I can see why people would be upset with Jason about this. But the bottom line is, I think he did the best he could. He doesn't have that many people he could call. I think he tried to make some, I'll walk there or whatever, but the bottom line is he has a ride now. He can get there. And I would ask the court to allow him to go to alternative directions. That would be a very good thing.
All right, the court does find that the people have met their burden of proof by preponderance of the evidence. We heard from a couple of witnesses. First Agent Grutter indicated that he knows Mr. Canavan, identified him, went through the process of ordering him to go to alternative directions, to appear at his office the next day, and gave him till 11 o'clock. He indicated that the defendant never said he had a ride, never said he didn't have a ride, never mentioned that a ride was going to be an issue, denied ever saying that he was going to provide a ride. Then he indicated that Mr. Canavan left, I guess presumably to go to the program, and he shows up at 1 o'clock saying now he doesn't have a ride. Then the court heard from Mr. Canavan, who indicated that he did get a ride from his brother to the probation office that morning, that when asked his brother if he could get a ride to Grand Rapids, his brother told him no. Mr. Canavan did not go back into the office right away and tell Agent Grutter, I'm sorry, my brother can't give me a ride. He goes home, packs a bag, walks back and says, here I am, I'm ready to go, but I don't have a ride. So based upon that, this comes down to a matter of credibility. The court finds that Agent Grutter is more credible than Mr. Canavan, in that I don't believe that Mr. Canavan ever asked who was going to give him a ride. There was no promises of a ride by Agent Grutter, and Mr. Canavan never said he didn't have a ride. In the court's view, this is just one more incident of Mr. Canavan playing games with the court, playing games with the probation officer, paying lip service only to his desire to get into a rehab. And for those reasons, the court does find him guilty. Proceed to sentencing today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And was the report timely available to you?
It was, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Beard, did you have a chance to read the report and discuss it with Mr. Canavan?
I did.
Do you have any additions, corrections, or challenges?
No, Your Honor.
Anything that you want the court to consider?
Your Honor, I think it's a good plan, gives him the jail time, gives everybody a plan to get him into alternative directions. That's basically the bottom line here, is to get him into rehab. Alternative directions, I think, would be good for him. And that's, thank you. I don't know, find out. We'll find out.
All right, anything else, Mr. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Canavan, have you had the opportunity to read the report and discuss it with Mr. Greer?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any additions, corrections, or challenges?
No, sir.
Anything that you want to say on your own behalf?
No, sir.
Ms. Robinson?
Your Honor, Mr. Greer argues that the recommendation in the report is appropriate. However, his client indicated he was uninterested in that. I do not believe that 30 days and up to 30 days pending direct transport to alternative direction is appropriate here. He had the opportunity to accept that. he did not, it is clear to me, and I believe to this court that this defendant is not serious about his sobriety. I didn't think that, I know that the last time we were here, we were bootstrapped by, you know, the agreement that I had made and the 15 days that the court could give, but this is now the second violation that he has been guilty of. I do not believe he has any intention of continuing along with his sobriety. I believe that he is just trying to, as the court said, play games with the court. As such, I would ask the court to exceed this recommendation. I do not believe that alternative directions is appropriate, and I would ask the court to sentence the defendant to as much time as the court is legally able to in this case.
Technical violation.
All right, well, in this case, this is the second technical violation. Most I can do is 3 days in jail. Trust me, I wish there was a lot more that I could do because Mr. Canavan, as I told you before, I don't believe you. But that being said, the most I can give you is 30 days. You've got 15 days in. You currently have a ride, right? Today, now?
He does.
You have your stuff.
Yes, sir.
You sentence the court that you, for this probation violation, that you serve 15 days in jail. Credit for 15 days. I'm going to continue on probation. I'm going to order that you attend and successfully complete alternative directions. It's now, I don't know if the clock has been changed. Like 2:15. Need to be there by 3:30. And you need to be there on time. You need to not have any drugs, not be under the influence of anything. You need to successfully complete the program.
Yes, sir.
And I can just tell you, my gut tells me that there's some reason that this isn't going to work out. You're not going to like the rules, you're not going to like the facility. Like I told you before, there's going to be other people that are going to be pushing drugs on you. You're going to be claiming that there's drugs available. There's going to be 100 reasons for you not to stay there. But let's see if you stay. If you don't, it's a probation violation. If it's a non-technical violation, if you end up using or possessing, or something that's a non-technical violation, I'm going to send you to prison. If it's a technical violation, I'm going to give you the maximum if it's proven. And eventually, you either go to treatment and actually actively participate, or you're going to work yourself into a prison sentence. Choice is 100% yours.
Yes, sir.
My gut tells me what you're going to choose. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think I'm going to. You do have the right to appeal this conviction sentence. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court of attorney represents you on the appeal. The court of lawyers to file in court within 42 days.
3.
We're gonna have to do an order real quick so they can process him out as quick as they can. You know what? I can't see it by 3:30. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take you to get you out of there. And the time that you're released from jail, you're gonna have an hour and 15 minutes to get to alternative directions.
Go.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Scott,
Yes, sir.